Karina, the adventurous girl, had many dreams to fulfill. Being such an imaginative, optimistic, and curious person, she was always looking forward to going on adventures to uncover mysteries that seemed to have no explanation. She once cheered on her dragon friend, Bethany, and they both went up to the sky to find out where the rain was coming from. There, they learned that clouds drop every time they hear a good joke somewhere in the world. This motivated Karina to continue investigating, but now the objective was different. The adventurous girl wanted to travel to the end of the rainbow to find out who was drawing it in the sky. This wish came one day when Karina was at home with her parents, while a powerful rain was falling. Karina had a cup of hot chocolate and looked out the window, bored because that afternoon she had planned to go play with her friends. She said, "Wow, the clouds must have heard a fantastic joke because this rain is not normal. Now I will not be able to meet with Bethany, Brad, and Paul." Her parents gave her a gentle hug to comfort her, then said, "Little one, we are so sorry. But don't just focus on the bad things. By the time the rain calms down, we will have a chance to see something beautiful." Karina didn't know what they meant because she had never seen a rainbow. With some curiosity, she asked, "What are we going to see? Could it be flying unicorns? Could it be a star visiting us from space? Tell me, please." Smiling patiently, her parents replied, "No, little one, it's something more beautiful than all that. Oh, look, it's just happening. What you see there, drawing in the sky, is a rainbow." The little adventurer turned to where her parents indicated, and her eyes lit up. A perfect arc had been painted in the sky with many colors. It was the most incredible thing she had ever seen. Karina jumped with excitement, danced alongside her parents, and yelled, "Rainbows are my favorite thing in the world. How do they appear?" The parents shrugged and replied, "No one knows yet, little one. It is said that magical creatures appear in the middle of the rain and draw it in the sky to give us hope, but no one has been able to travel to the source of a rainbow to find out." Karina danced again, excited, and shouted, "Then I will be the one to find out who draws the rainbows in the sky. It will be the greatest adventure of all." That afternoon, from dancing so much, Karina fell asleep in her room and woke up the next day. Now she would tell her friends to help her get to that wonderful rainbow. The little adventurer met them in the park where they always met to play. There she said, "Hey guys, I have an amazing idea. Do you know what a rainbow is? Well, I want to find out how they form in the sky. I want to know what magical creatures draw it. I want to know everything. What do you say? Would you join me?" Brad the werewolf and Bethany, the dragon, were completely excited by the proposal. They said, "Yes, Karina, of course, we want to go." However, something strange was happening to Paul, the beaver. His eyes were puffy, and he seemed to have a larger face than usual. He said, "Karina, I would be happy to accompany you, but I don't feel good at all. I think I have an allergic reaction." The three friends worried about Paul. Karina asked, "Allergy? What are you allergic to?" Paul thought about it for a few seconds, and then he put his hand to his mouth, and began to shake. "Oh no, the sandwich I had for breakfast this morning had peanuts in it. I am allergic to peanuts." Then the poor beaver lost the strength in his legs, and Brad had to carry him in his arms. Paul, in a weak voice, said, "Oh, I need you to find the flower that cures my allergies. You can only get it at the top of Skyscraper Peak, the highest place in the whole world. Can you help me?" Karina forgot about the rainbow, now her attention was completely focused on her poor friend. All three of them said, "Sure, Paul, friends are here to help. We'll have time to go on adventures when you're safe." Brad carried Paul on his shoulders, Bethany said goodbye and flew to Skyscraper Peak to find out if the flowers were still there, and Karina prepared the path they would follow to get to that faraway place. The adventurous girl, the werewolf, and the poor beaver started their journey. Together, they went through a jungle full of singing birds, a swamp full of vegetarian crocodiles that tried to sell them watches, an underground cave inhabited by vampires who drank orange juice instead of blood, and after all that journey, they finally reached Skyscraper Peak, the highest place in the world. Brad and Karina were exhausted, and poor Paul was having a really bad time. His face was now so swollen that it looked like a large balloon, and his eyes were no longer visible. At that moment, Bethany the dragon flew down from the top to inform them of what she had seen. Paul was right, there are some beautiful flowers up there. Put him on my back, I will take him first, and then I will come back for you too. It took the dragon several minutes to fly Paul up and come back down to pick up the rest of the group. They were all worried about their friend. When the four of them were finally up, Karina began to shiver from the strong, cold breeze that blew at the top. The poor beaver could hardly speak anymore, but with a lot of effort, he said, "Friends, find a flower, pluck 4 petals and put them in my mouth. Please." Karina followed his instructions very quickly, being careful not to fall from those terrible heights. When she put the petals into Paul's mouth, the swelling began to disappear from the beaver's face. The 4 of them let out a loud sigh, they were relieved. Brad the werewolf said, "We were very worried about you, Paul. Don't ever scare us like this again. Before eating a sandwich, always check what's inside before putting it in your mouth." Bethany, on the other hand, told him, "The important thing is that you are well. Besides, I had always wanted to come here. This was the place where Ferdinand blew his horrible horn to make all the creatures unite." Karina nodded her head and said, "Yes, it is an incredible place. We can see the whole world from here. I can see my house from here. Right there is the dam where Paul lives, over there is the den where Brad lives, and higher up, on the top of Adventure City, the mountain where dragons live. Have you ever thought about how great it is to have such different friends? I always think so. I love being around you guys. It does not matter if I don't know who paints the rainbow." The 4 friends hugged each other very tightly. Now, Paul, the beaver, seemed fine and in a good mood. Smiling, he asked, "Hey folks, I have a cool joke in mind." They had never heard Paul tell a joke, so they were surprised. They asked him, "Who is it?" Paul replied, "It's me, the rainbow, and you won't be able to travel to see me because your beaver friend's face got swollen." That joke was not funny, but it was so bad that the clouds in the sky could not help laughing out loud. Karina, Bethany, Brad, and Paul did too. At that moment, heavy rain started, and everyone hid under the dragon's wings. It was incredibly cold, all 4 of them were shaking. However, when the clouds finally stopped laughing, what the adventurous girl had wished for happened. 7 beautiful and bright fairies appeared in the sky in front of them. They could see them up close because the 4 friends were in the highest place in the world. There was a red fairy, an orange, a green, an indigo, a violet and a last light blue. With their magic wands, they were slowly drawing the rainbow, dyeing the sky in vibrant colors that could be seen from anywhere. It was amazing! Karina and her friends were dancing and screaming, happy because without planning it they had managed to get exactly what they were looking for. When the fairies finally finished their work, the friends applauded them to celebrate their fantastic work of art. After a while of celebration and joy, everyone came down Skyscraper Peak and returned to Adventure City. When they got to the park where they always met to play, Karina gave everyone a warm hug and said, "You know something? You are the best friends in the world! I wouldn't be such a good explorer if you weren't always there for me, helping me and making me laugh. Please, Paul, don't ever eat things that cause you allergies. Well, I have an excellent idea I want you to also join me for. Now my next goal is to find the fan that blows all the wind that is felt in the world. It will be an incredible adventure." Karina became the greatest adventurer of all time, and she always had fun with her friends. Adventure City remained calm, magical creatures, animals, and humans never separated again. Karina was always a responsible, optimistic, intelligent, and resilient girl, and she never forgot that friendship is the greatest adventure she could have.